Hello, Mr. Cove here, and today I want to talk about making alts in D4, one of my favorite ways to play Diablo 4. This is going to be a simple alt guide going over how to efficiently get your new character to endgame if that's how you want to do it. So here we have made our new character. It is an alt, and we're going to go through the process here. So first step is going to be putting a new pet on our character. So they're picking up all the materials for us on how to collect our renown words. We no longer have to do that in Kovashad. We're going to go to our wardrobe here. And you can do whatever else you want here, but we're just going to go through the requirements here. All right, so now we have a pet. All right, next we want to change to Penitent. We are going to be gearing for that here. So let's go ahead and go to a main city. Now, when you make your first character, this is not available until you do some things. But when it's an alt, you can go ahead and change it to Penitent if you've been in Torment with your other characters. It's also optional. If you just like smashing through everything even easier, you can have it lowered. But I would suggest Penitent. That's going to be the most efficient way if you're doing it how we set it up here. All right, next we want to get our mercs assigned if we're playing with the expansion. Over to the den here. This isn't necessarily because you need the mercs. It's so they get experience while you're leveling up your characters. And if you've played your mains, what I would suggest is getting these all max level. The reason being that they're going to have more rewards here when we're buying things. So if you get them all at max, that's going to help us out with making alts. Okay, so now we have our alts here, so they're going to be getting experience as we get experience. And next, we want to open our Whisper caches. So this is the key thing here, is with our main, preferably in Tier 4, we're going to save up some Whisper caches for them. And let's get out of here for now. So let's make this our favorite here. I just prefer the Tree of Whispers. I know we can get these in a lot of different places, but I do like the setup of the town with everything being right by the waypoint here. So this is my usual home, actually. So we can just stick these in our stash. I would suggest 10 here. And this is going to be a little different because they do have the Whisper bonus where you're getting double cash right now. So it's going to be a little different than it normally would be. All right, let's go ahead and open these. Now I say 10 because that is more efficient as far as getting your alt up to level. Now, if you want to skip the whole process and get them up to level 27, you can do that, but that's going to take 27. So there is a big difference there. You see this brings us to like 42. There are some Tier 3 Whisper caches in here as well. So that is part of the reason why this is lower level. Now because of this double, our caches are in here. So this is going to level us up more. So you're going to see what like 20 would do if some of them are Tier 3, which most of these actually were, but you want to do Tier 4 if possible. I just happen to be screwing around with my other one here. So okay, so we've opened up all our caches here. And again, for me, 10 is the sweet spot. I think that is a better choice. And if they're Tier 4, that'll get you to the mid 40s. I think it's faster to go from mid 40s to level 60 with your alt than it would be to farm up an extra 17 of those caches to get them to level 60. There are seasonal quests to do anyway, and you'll get 60 faster, from the mid 40s, doing all that stuff than you would with your main farming for it, in my opinion. If you do choose to go fully to 60, then your steps will be a bit different here. You also want to use experience elixirs, and at level 50, you can use the higher level ones and incenses, and you can get up to 3 different ones there. So what you want to save from these Whisper caches, in my opinion, was just the GAs that drop. The other things are going to be useful as well, so we're just saving these. There's going to still be some other ones on the ground. And then you want to salvage everything else. The reason you do this is this will give you some aspects to work with, which we'll be doing here. And then you're just gathering up all the things. And we won't go through all this. But again, our interest is just saving the GAs. So that's what we're going to do here. And those will generally be the first ones that you pick up, so you'll kind of know what's going on here. All right, and pause it, go through all this, and then we'll get to the next step here. Okay, so we've picked up all our stuff here. There's going to be temper manuals, some glyphs, some runes, a bunch of aspects that we salvage that we're going to be able to use now, and then just some starting GA gear that we may use when we reach max level here. So I'm just going to keep those in my stash for now. Okay. And because we open these Whisper caches on this character, they're all going to be usable by our character, as well as all the aspects that we salvage there as well. So that works well, as opposed to saving items for other characters that may not be compatible. This is all going to be usable, by the character that we opened it with. And with all the items that we salvaged, it gives us a starting point with aspects, as well as just being stuff that later we don't want to bother using inventory space for, because 750 item level stuff is going to be very replaceable later on. So it's nothing we want to keep in our stash, or, if you have room for something that looks nice, you can stick it in your stash, but I wouldn't bother. I would just salvage it all. We saved all the GAs and opened all the temper manuals and got the glyphs and everything. All right, after we do that, I'll go ahead and claim your renown rewards here. Doesn't really matter when you do this, but let's make sure you do that at some point. It gives you a little bit extra. All right, next we want to gear out our character here. The best way to start doing this will be from doing merc caches. I would save some points from leveling these with other characters. We're focusing on the aspect caches here, and we have leveled all our mercs up ideally, so we have more of those available to us. These will drop multiple legendaries, and they will be higher level than what you can just buy directly from there. Depending on your points available, you can also restock a few times and fill up most of your gear from this. If not, you can buy directly from the shop here for any piece you need to fill in. You will need to buy a weapon or weapons directly, though. And if you need to fill in anything else, you can gamble. And depending on the points you have, you can just let a rare fill in the gaps if you want to, or you can, keep gambling until a legendary pops up. Okay, so we're back at the den to start the process here. So we're going to go talk to her. And here's what we're looking for first. Since we're going to get multiple of these are a cheaper way to get things that we might want here. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to restock for free. And we'll go ahead and grab the other ones. This isn't really going to add anything, but I'll buy it anyways. These are going to give us multiple items, and these are going to be higher than what shows up in the shop here as far as the item level. Okay, so you can kind of see what we got here just from these caches. So we're able to fill in a few spots here, and then we'll go ahead and fill in the rest just by directly buying. So we need a helm, pants, and a weapon. So we'll go ahead and take a look for that. Okay, so we go back to the shop here. We're just going to try to directly buy this stuff now. I'd suggest a two-hander, so you're not buying multiple different things. We still need a helmet, pants. We'll go ahead and restock. And as you can see, these are lower level power than what we're already wearing. That's why we did the other stuff first here. And then what I did there at the end is just grab another defensive aspect one that would likely get me a helm. It's not guaranteed, but that did. So that filled in all of our parts there. So that's what we're looking for. Don't need to gamble anything. And these are higher level than we would have started with by going that route as well. So we used about 300 points there. You get 100 points every time you just go there. See, so this is where you'll continue to get points. So we already collected all these off our mercs that we had, but this is what you want to do to fill up those points there. Okay, so we don't need to gamble anything. We are done with our gear. So now we're going to figure out a base build. The easiest and most universal way right now is just to select the powers that have flat damage with the chaos perks. These can carry you through Penitent just fine. And I've leveled these with your main. I would suggest doing the same to make this easier. This isn't required though. You can still go through Penitent easily with just a normal build as well if you prefer to do that. So we'll go to our powers here. We're just going to go with the chaos ones. Because these have the flat damage, this isn't as important as far as your build goes. So this will clear out most things just by itself without really worrying about the rest of the gearing. All right. So after you've chosen your powers, you want to change our aspects on our gear. This can be just a general build with things like aspect of the elements, or you can go more specific here if you want to and unlock the aspects to do so. Most likely the generic ones are at a higher tier though, because you were able to get those with your main. So I'd probably go in that direction, but you can certainly just make a build with the aspects that you unlocked as well. So for example, here we have aspect of elements. We'll stick that on our gloves. That's going to be a decent damage boost to any build that you're using, and also go with the chaos perks. So that's where you want to go now. Okay, so now that we've chosen our aspects and our powers, we want to go ahead and fill in our skill tree. We want to do these other two things first because we're not sure what build we're going to do until we see what aspects are available to us and what direction we're going to go there. So next, we're going to go to our tree and just fill out something basic that fits with those aspects that you chose. Okay, so we've filled out our skill tree for whatever we're going to be doing for now. And then we also want to use whatever class specific thing. Hopefully we've unlocked that previously by doing the class quests. If not, you can go do that. But otherwise, you should have those available already, and go ahead and select that while you're doing this as well. Okay, next I would enchant any of your gear that has some dead stats to something more suitable. Don't go crazy here. Just like drop, chance to heal for a primary stat or something like that, and just go through your gear and throw something that's a little better on. But again, don't do it too many times and waste your time here, since this stuff's all going to be gone real quick anyways. Okay, so we've got rid of some dead stats, just enchanted briefly on our gear to make it slightly better. We have our initial build set up. Now we're going to do some tempering. You should have generic legendary options available here. So just things like +% armor, or offensively plus damage to distant or close are fine. But go with the legendary options that you've already unlocked on your main, as opposed to magic or rare ones that you just got through the whisper drops. So something like this, we just stuck this on our weapon. Just close enemies, generic, will help almost any build that you have, right? So use those legendaries, go through each of your items and put the tempering on for each of them here. Okay, we've tempered all our gear now. What do we do now? Even with mid 40s gear, you can just go with this now until level 60 and change nothing else with your build until you hit max level. If you find a unique or something that's useful for what you're doing right now, you can put that on. That's easier because you don't have to temper it or enchant it or do any of the other things that you'd want to do with a legendary. Otherwise, I would just keep your gear as is after you've done this process. If you really want to, you can upgrade your main weapon as higher level stuff drops after level 50. But even this is optional. You should still be able to go through Penitent just fine without doing that. But if that would be like the one thing you might want to consider. So from there, I would just start with the seasonal quests and whatever content you feel like doing, and you'll be level 60 in no time. Once you get to level 60, you want to equip all of the GA gear that we saved from our caches, and then we can use the Merc area for 750 gear to fill in the gap, or again, gamble a bit for any missing pieces. 3 affix rares are fine as well. You can change them to legendaries and then temper them. And you'll be replacing those with GAs pretty quickly as well. Then do the same process as before, where we enchant, temper, and change all of our aspects. This can stay generic at this time if you want as well. Fill in your Paragon board from what you have now, or don't bother, and fill it in with what you plan on playing if you don't want to respec later. Now I would do the pit and see where I'm at for power level at a starting point. I usually just start with each tier and see where I'm at as far as the breakpoints for the tiers. And then when it feels like you see what power level your current gear and build is at, you're pretty much done and you're in end game now, and you can start playing like normal. Now this is a guide meant for efficiency, of course. So if you prefer to continue, to upgrade your gear, you want to start at a lower level, or whatever, you want to get more of a feel for your character, go for it. This is based on how to spend the least amount of time getting an alt up and running, with also not spending a lot of time in your main, farming up 27 Whisper caches to do it. So hope this information helped a few of you alt lovers out there like me. I do want to just show this in practice real quick, so I'll go kill something here real quick. Oh, and on something else I forgot, go ahead and upgrade your health potions as well, since we've leveled up here, so don't forget to do that. Okay, so we're just going to go kill a PvP boss here. This is just a simple minion necro here at level 51, so just to show an example of how this works here. There's our boss over there. All right, so you see, pretty easy. Minion Necro might be a little better than some other build or whatever, but again, your powers are going to be able to carry you. Your legendary tempers at this level are also overpowered, and you should have had some aspects to work with from your main in general that are also going to be overpowered at this level. If you chose to use class specific things, that's fine as well. If anything does get slightly more difficult, the first thing I would look at is just upgrading your weapon. But again, I wouldn't waste too much time with swapping out gear and stuff. Even level 40 gear is going to get you the end through Penitent if you did everything I said here. So that is it. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.